Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video, and today I want to do a more laid back sort of discussion video on my thoughts on the new Mattel JP93 collection. You know that this channel is primarily focused on the vintage Kenner Jurassic Park figures. That's just what I love. If you saw my learning to collect responsibly video, I used to collect everything. I used to have the Hasbro and I used to have the Mattel stuff, and I collected the Mattel figures pretty much all the way up till the release of Dino Rivals. And then I just, I kind of fell out of love with what Mattel was doing. I wasn't really into buying the same exact repaint of a dinosaur 37 times, and so I kind of dropped Mattel and I just started collecting vintage. However, I do collect the new Hammond collection figures. I think those figures are really awesome. They're a nice medium between the Legacy collection and the Amber collection, the super sort of collector friendly but also kid friendly items that are based on the older movies. I really love the Hammond collection, and you saw that in my collection video. But these have really piqued my interest, and I would love to also know your guys' thoughts on these figures. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. First off, we're looking at the Jurassic Park Dr. Alan Grant Tactical Claw Pack. So I'm on Target's website right here. First of all, this artwork is incredible. It evokes that classic Kenner Jurassic Park art style so well, and I love that it's actually an enclosed box. You can see all the fonts on the box are very Kenner-esque, and it's great. And you got the little JP30 up there in the top left corner. So let's go ahead and jump in. Looking at the figures here, you see on the bottom, we got Alan Grant. He's looking awesome, very much like his Kenner counterpart, with that awesome new Mattel sculpt. You can see he comes with the binoculars here. He's got a sort of tactical vest on. I'm assuming that's removable. And then all the weapons, the dinosaurs here. We'll skip it forward. So here's the Gallimimus. Really awesome paint job. Of course, it's modeled after the Series 2 Gallimimus from Kenner, which is a very sought-after figure that I don't actually own, unfortunately. But the Gallimimus that came with Series 2 Ian Malcolm was also painted like that. And that brings up an interesting point. It would have been a really easy route to include this figure with Malcolm, seeing as he came with the hatchling in the original series, but I'm glad that they're sort of mixing it up and they're doing something original, because I wouldn't want them to just completely redo what Kenner did. I want something a little different. I don't really like this gimmick here with the scanned thing. I think that's really stupid. And I'm assuming that ruined the galloping feature of this toy, because this toy did have a galloping feature, and it looks like this button has sort of been replaced with this dumb app gimmick. I don't know why these toy companies have to put, smartphone related things in all their toys. Kids just want to play with toys. They don't care about these smartphone gimmicks. So if I had to make one change overall, is just drop the dumb smartphone gimmick. But other than that, this is a great figure. I love the weapons. He comes with, I believe, 2 different weapons, and they're sort of these, spring propelled grappling sort of things. This one is very much like Harpoon Harrison's grappling gun, and then this one is very Ellie Sattler-esque. You can see we have, it's tethered to a string. Here's a shot. It also comes with this little hatchling Velociraptor, which looks awesome. I love that little hatchling. Yeah, this is just a great pack, and one thing that I love is the capture gear. We're getting some really awesome Kenner-esque capture gear. That's one thing I feel like Mattel has been lacking on. They've done capture gear a little bit in the past, but it hasn't really been fully fleshed out, and it's been honestly kind of hit or miss. But I love the way this is. You get 2 different pieces of capture gear. You get Alan Grant's vest, which is removable, which is awesome. And you get some binoculars, 2 guns, and this little baby green Velociraptor. And Alan Grant just, oh man, he looks great. So I'm very excited for this pack. It's retailing for $23.99, which is pretty good. In this economy, toys are a lot more expensive than they used to be. Even back in 2018, I feel like this would have been, $18, $20 maybe. But toys have gone up a lot in price, but I still feel like this is a great value. So now let's hop over to the second sort of dinosaur human pack here. And this is the Ian Malcolm Glider Escape Pack. So this is obviously taking inspiration from that Kenner Lost World Glider Ian Malcolm figure, but obviously done up in the more traditional, all black deco of Ian Malcolm. Once again, the art is incredible, looks fantastic. The Dilophosaurus figure, once again, we have that dumb gimmick with the scan app, which, whatever. But this figure does look great. It does have that style of the old, spitter Dilophosaurus. And that's obviously what they're going for, because you can see here that the frills are actually tucked back. And I believe that all of the Mattel Dilophosauruses so far have had the frills, out. And so that's really cool that they're putting this one that has the frills tucked back, because it would have been really easy for them to just go and release, another repaint of the Dilophosaurus that they've released 1,000 times over. So it's cool to see that. Another, missile launching gun. This reminds me a lot of the one that came with the Series 2 Ian Malcolm. You can see, the translucent green and the gray plastic for the gun. And, the stock. It looks very reminiscent of that original Kenner gun that Ian Malcolm came with. You can see we have a little baby Triceratops down here, and this reminds me a lot of the one that actually came with Eddie Carr from The Lost World, that little hatchling. Very, very similar paint job. And Ian Malcolm just looks great here. He's got the glasses, he's got black gloves, looks very cool. He comes with this little, it's sort of like a carrying handle for this Triceratops. I can't imagine you'd be actually able to pick up a Triceratops, but, who knows? It's a cool little capture gimmick. And then the Dilophosaurus comes with all this awesome capture gear, very much like the Series 2 spitter that came with all this capture gear. And you can see there's just the vast amount of accessories that these figures come with is really awesome. I'd love to see it. You got the muzzle. Oh man, that's so cool. They got the little green backpack like the original Ian Malcolm. That's really awesome. And obviously, I'm excited and I'm getting all nostalgic because these are a lot like the Kenner figures. But I'm also glad that they're, sort of separating themselves and taking some liberties and really, making their own thing. I wouldn't want them to just blatantly copy Kenner. So I'm glad that they're sort of going their own way and still paying homage. Speaking of going your own way and still paying homage, this vehicle pack is really cool. So basically, this Jeep right here, the paint is obviously modeled after that unreleased Series 2 Jungle Explorer, and it's sort of modeled after the Jungle Explorer, except back here we have sort of this like almost truck bed with this missile launcher and this like grappling, like this lasso noose thing over here, much like the Bush Devil Tracker. Really awesome paint job. And then here is the Scutosaurus. This was an unreleased figure from the Series 2 Kenner line, once again, that they've sort of taken and done. And that's so cool that they're sort of basing these off unreleased prototypes. So they're paying homage, but at the same time, they're giving us something that we've never gotten before. So that's really, really cool. The figure looks great. So much cool detail. The paint job is very Kenner-esque with the bright colors. Very reminiscent of Series 2. And then, you have the scan gimmick. It's whatever's. And then you can see you can place this sort of lasso on the side of the truck here, which is super cool, much like the Bush Devil Tracker. I'm assuming these doors open, and then you have this, rocket firing gimmick that all the Kenner vehicles had. You have this sort of, protective cage around the windshield, which is pretty cool. I'm not seeing a lot of, dyno damage features, which, I'd love to see some of that, because Kenner always included that, but maybe this does something, I'm not really sure, but still a really, really awesome vehicle. I'm super excited about this pack. Look at that box art. That's incredible. It looks so good. I'm hoping that these accessories up here won't be, victims of theft. Whenever you see things like this, they're very easy to steal. So you'll probably see a lot of these in the store that have these ripped off, but all right, and now moving on to the grand finale, I think what most people are excited about and what we've been asking for since day one, the Kenner style red T-Rex with the real feel skin. This is probably the highlight of this figure assortment. It just looks awesome. They've taken their awesome sculpt for the T-Rex and they've given it the Kenner treatment with the real rubber skin and the red paint job. looks a lot like that original Red Rex. This is so weird here to have this like dino piece. Like, it could be dino damage maybe, sort of, but you have this weird phone thing in there once again. That's dumb, but what are you going to do about it? It's still a great figure. And you can see here it has this slit down the middle of his stomach here, much like the Gulper or the Bull Rex, where she can swallow figures, which is really cool. You can see right here she's swallowing this Triceratops, but I hope it'll also fit, regular action figures, so, she can eat actual people. So I hope that's big enough for a human character, but we'll see. And yeah, you retrieve it from the belly slit, which is really awesome. It's electronic, much like the Kenner Red Rex. You press the button on the back, and I'm assuming it makes noises. And yeah, I mean, just look at that. That looks so awesome. I can't wait to see this guy on the shelves. Definitely the standout figure of this line. I love the articulation. I can't wait to feel the rubber. I hope it's a nice high quality rubber and not some cheap rubber. But I'm assuming it'll be pretty high quality, knowing Mattel. They seem to do pretty high quality stuff, especially their rubber. I believe the only other kind of full rubber dinosaur they've done was that original Mosasaurus, and that rubber was super thick and durable, so I'm excited. I have high hopes for this figure. I would love to see an enclosed box once again, but what are you gonna do? And this guy's retailing for $50, so around the... Sorry, my dog just made a huge noise there. So he's retailing for around the same price as the Hammond Collection T-Rex, which I feel is pretty fair. This guy's got electronics, he's got the real rubber skin, so I think that's honestly a great price point. So I am honestly super excited for these figures. When I first saw them, I wasn't really, that excited, but now that I've gone through and I've looked at them, I am pretty pumped for these figures. I still don't know if I'm going to buy them or not, so let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me get these and unbox them for you guys. If you guys want to see it, I would love to do it. And I'd also like to, compare them to the original Kenner figures. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do, just to see the differences from, 30 years on. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that, and I will definitely consider picking these guys up. So yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys are thinking. What do you think about these figures? Are you excited? Have you pre-ordered them? Are you not excited? What would you change? Just drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one.